Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 4 stocks that I think should be on your watch list for this week. Alright, so for the first stock, let's hop into Apple on the 1 week time frame. If you see this blue line right here that we have, this is our 1 week support, and Apple just broke beneath it. We were chopping for a few weeks here. If you see from September, basically October to now, like last week, we were chopping around this support zone. We bounced off of it twice, which made me think it was bullish. However, with the break downward of it was relatively good volume compared to the last few weeks. It looks like Apple's on gonna retrace some of the levels that we saw from old previous highs and old previous lows. Let's take a look at Apple in the 1 day time frame. So this is the chop that I was talking about, where we kept bouncing up and down off this resistance, off the support. We finally broke beneath it, and now we're on this right here. We're on the 134 support. Next support that we see on the 1 day time frame is either going to be 123 or 116. I'm going to short Apple to 116. I think Apple does hit 116. Earnings are coming up in January 25th. On January 25th, I don't think Apple has outstanding earnings just because of how they had the Foxconn in China. They had the shutdown in China. The biggest Apple factory was shut down. I think Apple does tank on earnings a little bit, and this time I think the earnings will be either they'll be unexpected, or we'll see a run down towards earnings. So last time we had earnings, Apple rebounded all the way to green off of red earnings, which is kind of unexpected, but it is what it is. Well, I never try to play earnings, but I think a run down into earnings is probably expected. TSM is the next stock we're going to talk about. So TSM, let's take a look at the 1 week chart. All my charts that I make usually are on the 1 week chart. There's no point in playing a chart that just isn't moving. And if you look at the 5 minute chart, the 5 minute chart is not much movement. 1 week chart is much easier to work with. If you take a look at the 1 week chart on TSM, we see we're on the high of this channel downward. We got rejected 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and the fourth time we see a good red break. I would be looking to short these 2 green candles. These are very high volume green candles, and we'll probably see some sell off because of how high volume they were. I would short TSM all the way down to the 60 level. 60 is a great level for TSM to look to rebound because it's a psychological level, and if it does not pivot off of that, we'll probably see a low of the channel around 53. But otherwise, I would look at just shorting TSM. TSM has been on a tear, and 1, 2, 3, 2 green volume weeks. In compared to Apple did not even have that crazy green volume week. We had one really big volume week right here. This was not as big, but TSM is just, this is just such a free short in my mind. I'm gonna be adding TSM to my one of my bigger watch lists to look out, because this chart is just this chart wants to go down. The next chart that we're gonna look at is ACN. ACN is a new stock that I've been looking at. I've had this line drawn on it for a while. This is the 243 line. Yeah, the 243 line. And 243 is a key level because, as you see, we tried earlier on, we tried to touch it twice, and then we finally broke off out of it, and then we had a huge bull run. However, now we're coming down, and I want to see how we react to that 243 level again. If we break 243, we're going to see a break down to 214, and then we'll probably retrace this high and this high. So a break of 243 is what I expect. However, look for a bounce off of it. You could even play the downside all the way down to 243. I think a lot of people can play that. It's a $20 move. Options for 2 to 3 weeks out should not be too expensive on a relatively free. I don't like saying free, but a relatively easy move like this. This is a really easy move in a trader's mind. In my mind, at least, this is a free short. We can see how the trade works out in a few weeks from now. And if I am wrong, then there must have been a very key catalyst, but this just looks like a very easy short in my mind. Next stock we're going to talk about, and the last stock we're going to talk about, is AMD. AMD is a stock that has been in this downward channel ever since March. Oh, almost November. I lied. November of 2021. The stock has been getting beat up, and we've been kind of just bouncing. We talk about the stock a lot. We've been bouncing off of this channel a lot. And what happened again? You see, we bounced on the higher end of the channel. What are we going to do now? We're going to play it to the lower end of the channel. We're going to short AMD to the lower end of this channel. That should be another free move. I don't like saying free, but it should be a relatively easy move to short AMD. AMD had this crazy earnings week. Other than that, they don't really have. I don't really see AMD doing well against the market. And if you're not sure how the market's going right now, just take a look at the mesh chart. Not even like, you can even take a look at the SPX chart. If you take a look at this, just look at this. Like we wicked so hard off of this line. Everyone is saying, look, this line is too obvious to be true, too obvious. If you look at every online forum there is, you can go on Reddit, you can go anywhere. This line is too obvious, too obvious. Oh, well, what happened? Oh, we got rejected off of it. So what's gonna happen now? I thought the stock market, I thought we were finally bullish again. I thought CPI was green. I thought Federal Reserve's trying to pivot. Well, we still are following technical levels. It seems that we got rejected off of this high. We're gonna probably play it to the low, the last low. We're gonna see how it reacts to the last low, and yeah, we're just gonna see how it reacts to old levels. If we do see the stocks are gonna try to bounce off this old level once again, then we go long again. It's just that simple. Until the market has a catalyst to give us an either way move. Yes, CPI should have been the move, but Fed pivot hasn't really happened yet. And I know a lot of online forums are saying, oh yeah, but we lowered it down to 50 BPS. It should be a very general pivot from the Fed, but we never had a very clear consensus. Oh yes, recession is no longer in our sights. We have avoided recession. Until we get that headline, we are not avoiding a recession. A recession is still on the table, and Federal Reserve will have to do much more to make the recession headlines go away. This was the freest short that you can get. We broke out of it, and I know a few weeks ago I made a video about how if we broke out of it, we would continue to go up, but we broke out of it, got a red week, and now we get another red week. This is just a shortable chart in my mind. I know a lot of people are going short right now, but don't think that you're going to short the bottom. There's a long way to go downwards. We did have a crazy bull run in 2021, 2020. We can even go back to old 2019 levels if we continue to go down off of negative catalysts. So yeah, going into this week, these 4 charts should be on your mind. Add them to your watch list. These are very, very free shorting charts. I don't like using free once again, but very, very easy charts to look at. Add these to your watch list. If you guys are interested in my callouts, and we've seen a lot of gains. We had someone go from $200 to $1,500 in my Discord in 2 weeks. So if you guys are interested in joining my option trading Discord, there's a link in my About Me page on YouTube. You could click on that, join the Discord. In addition, there's a Patreon if you guys want to support the channel and get even more callouts. There's swing trade callouts. There's VIP callouts where you get every single one of my callouts, all of my charts. You get access to all of that. You can join those. But other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and happy trading. Bye, guys.